What's up guys, how y'all doing? Cousin Carrie here, bringing a World Sax video. How's everybody doing? It's been a while since I did a actual talkie vid, and so hope everybody's good. I hope your weekend is fantastic and all of that jazz, etc, etc. I know. I just thought I'd give you kind of like a mini update of sorts with regards to my channel and what's gonna be happening in the next, I don't know, a week or so. Uh, Basically, with regards to the content, the vids that are going to be uploaded, that I am going to be uploaded, and I just thought I'd let you know that I'm going to be uploading quite a few vids um, in the next week or so. But they're not going to be talky vids. There's going to be no commentary. I know last few vids there haven't been any commentary, and if you notice in the thumbnail, I've included a mic with a cross through it, just to give anybody a heads up and all of that jazz. So you're fully aware when you're kind of like, if you're browsing, possibly maybe through my vids, you can see that it's, you'll instantly know that it's just a gameplay vid basically. And I'm gonna be doing a lot of these uh, for the next, I haven't got a clue, for the next week or so, and this is due to the fact that honestly, my hard drive is full of games that don't really need commentary, and I also, there's a bit of laziness on my part, I guess, and there's also a desire to get rid of these recordings, basically, to put them somewhere, either delete them or upload them, or create vids out of them. So I've decided to just basically put up basic gameplay vids in you know on the channel of these tanks without any kind of commentary. Honestly, truth be told, a lot of these battles don't really need commentary because they're pretty basic. They're pretty decent battles, because I've kept them. But there's stuff like masteries in my Mutts tank. There's stuff like, I don't know, Tiger 131, heavy tank number 6. I don't know, Object 430 version 2. There's quite a few recordings where I guess it's mostly I'm a bit lazy. It's just I want to shift them. I want to do something positive with them, and I can't. I'm kind of over encumbered with recordings, I guess. There's too many to count, and like I said, they're not spectacular. When I put up a vid with my commentary, it's kind of like it needs to be something special. Otherwise, I don't want to do a commentary over the thing, like I on Prokhorovka, when I was in my, I think it was the Object 140, and I encountered 3 mouse tanks. That's kind of special. And Object 430, I seem to have really decent, pretty good games, and I can't remember what was the last one. But yeah, so I'm going to be putting up a lot of vids for the next, how many times have I said this? For the next week or so, just gameplay, nothing else. So for any of you that are kind of worried, where have I turned into one of these channels where it's just gameplay? No, but at the same time, I do have a bit of a lazy streak, and it's more prevalent lately due to the fact that I'm kind of 5 years in, and I've kind of said everything I wanted to say, and I do, yeah. So it's kind of like, what else is there to say? Speaking of being 5 years in, I recently put up a tweet. I put up a tweet today where I tweeted out. What you can see up on screen. Have just realized I am the only original gangster left. They have all pissed off apart from me, which includes Jack the Ripper, the Beard Guys, Ken, Mobius Y, Ronin, Achilles, Mad Friday, Rush Dodge. What a bunch of wankers. Original wankers still going strong. in brackets that really didn't sound right. And I have to say that this it was liked by pretty much all of the guys that were mentioned in the tweet. And I kind of, yeah, I just thought I'd share a chuckle with you guys. For those of you that don't know, if you follow me on Twitter, I kind of tweet all the time. Uh, when I'm doing the ops and stuff like that. And all of these other guys, they're on Twitter. You can follow them and kind of pick their brains, ask them questions if you wish to do so. They always kind of answer and all of that jazz. I have to say, I do miss the old days. Shall I be old and boring now? I do miss the days when these guys were in the picture, I have to say, because there was a lot of really decent vids put out by all of these guys. I forgot to mention Sins, but Sins, I don't think he was there from the start, and he's still going. He kind of has, the occasional extended break from making vids, which he's currently on, and yeah, so no disrespect to him at all. But I have to say, do I do kind of I don't necessarily miss the old days. I kind of miss the scene that was World of Tanks YouTube, on the Xbox, on the PS4 back in the old days, because there was much more content coming out back then, and there was much more a sense of community when it came to the YouTubers than there is today, because we all used to talk to each other, communicate with each other. Everybody was aware of what the other person was doing pretty much, and we all kind of were doing the same thing, but in our own particular way, in our own particular style, and I would be working on, I don't know, the M48 line at the same time. WizKen was working on vids for the for the Death Star line, etc., and there was a healthy there was competition between us, but it was definitely healthy. I would say, well, as far as I'm concerned, it was definitely healthy, because we'd watch each other's vids, and this is me speaking from my personal point of view, and you'd be impressed by their vids, and it kind of spur you on, push you to make your vids even more so, even better, kind of thing, because you'd want to outdo the other YouTuber, but it was never like a unfriendly thing. It was more of like I said, a friendly competition. It would bring out the best in all of us. It basically back then, 100%. And like I said, there was a lot more content coming out. Nobody seems to be doing any more of these, grinding tech tree line from 1 to 10, the Italian mediums, Italian heavies, whatever it is, etc. Nobody seems to do that anymore. And like I said, there was much more a sense of community. If I recall, I put up that vid where I recorded that crazy guy doing that really toxic commentary, where he was yelling down an open mic in a game, the Armchair General, and I was really nervous about putting that vid up, because I thought, I didn't want to name and shame the guy or any of that jazz, and put him on the spot or ridicule him, because that's not what I'm about. Just so I can get some views. What do I care about getting views? And I put the vid up, in a private room on Twitter or on Discord, I can't remember, and I asked all these other YouTubers to take a look at it and asked them, their opinion. Should I put it up? Should I put it up? And they all pretty much said, yeah, put it up. You were just recording this. You just happened to stumble upon this. This is gold. A lot of them are saying this is awesome, but you're not doing anything wrong, really. But eventually, I think the guy, actually, the Armchair General, he kind of enjoyed being in the spotlight, and I don't think he understood what kind of, fame, the negative side of the fame and all of that jazz. And eventually he did ask me. I told him I kept on in constant contact with him, and I said to him, he was initially kind of cheesed off with me when I put out the vid, because it was mega popular, that vid, and it instantly took off. It's like my viral vid, if you want to call it, in the World of Tanks console community. And he was initially cheesed off with me, in the messages, but in no way was he asking me to take it down, And I kept on saying to him, do you want me to take it down? You have the final say on this. If you like, I'll take it down. And he wouldn't answer, man, I'm really pissed off, but he wouldn't say take it down. So I was like, okay, so I won't take it down. But eventually, I think after about 2-3 months, he was like, can you take it down, please? I'm getting a lot of messages, people ridiculing me. I'm kind of fed up of this infamy, this fame. And I said, sure, no problem. And I completely deleted the vid. It doesn't even exist anymore. It's not even on my hard drive and all of that jazz. But another example was, if you guys recall, like in the early days, I used to play with this gentleman that went by the name of Owen, and the mouse line was coming out. And the mouse line coming out was this big, massive thing. It was humongous. It was, a big deal, etc., etc. And one of us YouTubers was gonna, review the line, do videos on all the tanks leading up to the almighty mouse. It was a big thing, and Owen wanted to start a YouTube channel. So I told him, you should do the mouse line, and I politely asked the other YouTubers. I think I did, and I know I asked WizKen, for instance, would you guys, not make any vids on the mouse line and allow Owen to make vids himself, be a great Kickstarter for his channel, doing vids on the mouse, and they said yes. I remember WizKen, for instance, saying yeah, absolutely, no problem. The mouse is all his. Of course, Owen only made like 2-3 vids, and eventually he kind of quit. His World of Tanks career petered out. But what I'm trying to convey is, lovely bunch of guys, lovely bunch of guys. Jack the Ripper, he's kind of missed and all of that, Mad Friday, Rush Dodge, Mobius White, Ronin, so many vids. He used to buy everything. Ronin used to buy every single premium tank and do vids on every, yeah, a lot of, yeah, so it's kind of cool. And you don't have that, I think, sense of community when it comes to the YouTubers. I'm not criticizing them at all, and all of that jazz. I think it's very different now to what it was previously. Back in the day, they used to release like 1 or 2 premium tanks a month, and they weren't even that great. I remember like they released the SU-76I, is that tier 5? Soviet premium TD. I mean, I was looking at like old news footage about that, and they were like pushing that tank for an entire month, and it's just a tier 5 Soviet TD, big deal. But that's what it was like back then, and so there was much more focus on the tech tree tanks, and today there's much more focus on the premium tanks. They release a premium tank every single week, I think, a brand new one, a reskinned one, a whatever one, and you just can't keep up. And yeah, so it's just very, I mean, I wouldn't want to be starting out around this time. It's just too much. And even though there's much more support now than there was back then, and all of that jazz, and etc., etc. So anyhow, I've rambled on quite a lot. good to chat with you guys. As always, take it easy, guys. Adios, muchachos.